Good morning. It's Sunday morning and I am making a video on how I make my henna for my hair. I've been asked a couple of times to make this video, so I'm going to make it this morning because I have to henna my hair. And it's crazy because I slept with it like this, which is a no-no. You'll get a lot of breakage and stuff. So I have two different hennas that I like to use, and this one is Nupur henna, and I get it from an Indian market. It's body art quality henna. This was $1.99. And then there's another one that I use, Rajasthani henna, and this one is $2.99. It's a bigger package. I usually use this when I'm sharing it with my niece, or if I just want to make it ahead of time for a couple of applications. So today I'm going to just use this one. She's not here, plus she has braids in right now, so she won't be using henna for a while. Last night I made some green tea to go into this, so I just dumped this in here. And this is my green tea that I made last night. You don't want to put it in here hot, and you don't really need to let it wait overnight either, but I was lazy and didn't do it. So I pour some in, and then I stir it up. I don't pour all the water in, and I really don't measure it either. I'm just going for consistency. And just want it to be more of a paste and not too liquidy. So I do water a little bit at a time because I can always add water, but once it's in there, I can't take it away. So I just do a little bit at a time. Get that all mixed up. And then what I do from here, I let this sit depending on what my goal is. Because henna will change the color of your hair. For me, it also changes the texture and my curl pattern. It loosens the curl pattern, which I like my curl pattern, but sometimes it's nice to have it a little looser because I have a lot of shrinkage with my hair. My hair is actually down to the middle of my back, but you can't tell because it shrinks up a lot. So this loosens my curl pattern a little bit so you can see exactly where my hair is. Oh, I apologize. It's not down to the middle of my back now because I just cut it before I went to Germany. So it's probably just below my shoulder. So I mix this all up, and then I let it sit because, see, it has all these lumps in it. The water will absorb into this, and it'll end up being creamier after a while. So I let this sit for about 2 hours or so. If I'm looking to dye my hair, I'll let it sit overnight so that it can fully release the color properties in it, the coloring properties. But right now I'm just looking to seal my hair so it can hold in some moisture, help it to be stronger, and it just helps with shedding. If you have a problem with dandruff, it helps with that. And when you're applying this, you definitely want to wear something that you don't mind getting messed up. This is my house shirt that I normally wear because it will get stained. The stains do come out after a while, but you definitely don't want to use something that you care about. And then I add some coconut oil. I only have a little left, but that should do the job. I get mine from Trader Joe's. You can get it from anywhere, but I just use organic virgin coconut oil, and it helps, you know, put some nutrients into your hair. Some people use an egg. I had a bad experience using an egg because I then washed my hair or rinsed my hair with hot water, which scrambled the egg. And imagine the nightmare trying to get scrambled eggs out of your hair, especially when it's curly. So I just add this, let that sit, and this will sit for about an hour, and then we'll come back and apply it. But that's how it looks right now. and then when I come back, you'll see the difference in the creaminess. Okay. Hi, I'm back. I took a shower, I detangled my hair, and now I'm ready to apply the henna. And as I was saying, see, it's shoulder length now, but it was probably about here before I cut it. But I had a lot of split ends and dry hair, and I like my hair shorter anyway. I always think about growing it out, but then I just like this length, so I usually just keep it here. So I washed my hair with conditioner, Herbal Essence Hello Hydration. It's the only one I use. I go through about one of these a month, and I don't use shampoo. I just wash my hair with conditioner. So I use that as the conditioner, as the shampoo, so to speak, and then I use this currently as my conditioner. But I didn't apply this yet because I'm going to put the henna in. This will go in afterward. So this is my henna now. It's been sitting for a little over an hour. It took me about 45 minutes to detangle my hair. And I don't know if you can see that, but it has changed a little reddish color in there. So I'm just going to stir it all up, and all that white stuff is that coconut oil that started to re-solidify. So I'll just stir that up. And it's nice and creamy now. I would recommend using gloves to apply this if you don't want your hands to turn orange. But I personally don't mind. And I have weak fingernails that break easily. And I noticed that when I apply the henna without wearing gloves, it strengthens my fingernails as well. And even my toenails. I'll smear some on there before I get in the shower, and it strengthens the toenails as well. So it's all stirred up, nice and creamy looking, and I like this thick consistency because it doesn't drip out of my hair, which it's already messy enough as it is, so I don't need it to be any more messy. So I'll just show you when I detangled my hair. This is my shedding. This was my right hand side, and this was the left hand side. So to me, that's a lot of shedding. And when I do the henna process, it lessens that. So that's why I like to do the henna. Okay, so I just take it and section my hair. I do 4 sections. And there's no, you don't have to part each section to put this in or anything. I just grab some up in my fingers, and I just start applying to my hair. And I just apply all over and make sure that I get everything covered. Henna can be very messy. I would recommend, if you have bathroom rugs, to take them up. I did not take mine up today, but you should, because this stuff can get all over the place, and it stains everything. And you'll see my hands, how stained they are when I'm done. And I didn't even let the color fully release. It takes a couple of hours for the color to fully release in this product, and to get the benefit of the hair dye. I'm not too concerned about the hair dye because I enjoy my natural hair color. So, but if you're looking to dye your hair, it'll bring it out to a nice reddish hue or a rich brown. It just depends on your hair makeup. And it does, having your hair dyed chemically does affect the way the henna dyes your hair, because that chemical process gets in the way of the processing. So I just put this all over my hair. I put it on the outer layer all the way down. And my hair was dripping wet because for me, it helps the henna to glide through easier. And then I just part it just to make sure I'm getting it all in the middle there. It'll eventually seep in anyway because I'm going to leave this on my hair for a couple of hours. But I still like to just go in the middle just to make sure. I mean, I'm taking the time to do this process. I should at least make sure that I'm doing it right and getting everything covered. And that's pretty much all I do there. And I do the same thing on the other side. And I'll just show you the back portion. And I just keep it separated just so that my hair doesn't retangle. And I just twist this together all the way to the ends. I like to concentrate more on my ends because my ends are really dry, which is why I keep it cut and why I cut it so often. My hair grows really fast, and it's already grown back quite a bit since I cut it 3 weeks ago. So I just keep that all together like that. And then I do the same thing for the back portion. Grab it all together and start putting this all in. And I usually do this once a month. I used to do it every week, and I noticed a big difference in the shedding, and I really enjoyed my curl pattern with doing it weekly, but I just don't feel like doing it every week. I'm lazy. I don't want to do it, so I don't. But I just did it a month ago, so, and I saw a friend in the store a couple of days ago, and she asked me to do a video, so I figured, well, it's about that time to do it again, so why not? And then again, I'm just separating the two pieces to make sure I get some down in the middle there. And I'm being very gentle with it because, like I said, it's very messy. It splashes around a lot. Even though I made the consistency pretty thick, it still can get pretty messy, and I don't want a lot of cleanup after. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to pause the camera temporarily while I do the other side, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Hi. Okay, so both sides are done, and as you can see, I just did a little twirly thing on each of them so they'll stick together. And they're so soppy, pasty, wet that they're going to stay together for at least a little while anyway. So they're all in. My entire head is saturated with the henna. And oh, and my hands, they're orange, see? So if you don't mind walking around for about a week with funky colored hands and fingernails, then don't use gloves. Your fingernails will thank you for it. Unless, of course, you have acrylics or gels or something, then that would be a nightmare. But natural nails will love it. So then I just put this on my head. And I will put a plastic bag over my head as well. But first, I like to just clean up my forehead and stuff because although I don't mind having orange fingernails, I don't want an orange face. So I just clean up all this excess stuff that fell. And then I just put a plastic bag on my head, and I will do things around the house, help Ron with laundry, make dinner, watch TV, whatever, and sit this on. 2 to 3 hours I leave it on, and I follow it up with this because I want the heat to generate. So I'll put this on. It's just a plastic bag from the grocery store on top of the plastic bag for conditioning. And then I'll put a towel or something on my head just to generate that heat and to keep everything all steamy up in there. So I have that on, and I'll just stay in the house for the rest of the day. And I'll come back after it's washed out so you can see, and I'll explain that process. Hi, so it's been 2 hours. I showered again to get the henna out. It's a long process to get the henna out. I had to wash it like a gazillion times, but I don't use shampoo. I rinse it for a long time, then I just put conditioner in it, rinse it a couple times, maybe about 5 times with conditioner. Then I put a deep conditioner in, and I got it right here. I forgot to bring it over. I use this one because your hair feels weird after you henna. Even with the added coconut oil in it, still feels weird to me. So I then, while I'm in the shower, I put this in, brush it through with my Demon brush. It's just a brush that has like wide teeth. And brush it through, make sure it's evenly distributed. Then while I wash, I let it sit in my hair 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Then I rinse it out with cold water. So the last few seconds of my shower are freezing cold, but I'm fine with that. I tend to like that, and it helps with your adrenal system and everything as well. So I like to shower cold at the end, which is wonderful for your hair because it makes it nice and shiny. So then I just wrapped it up and then set my camera back up in here because I'm finishing up dinner, and I'm done. So it's all done, conditioned, hennaed, and this is the end. At this point, I don't put anything in my hair. Maybe sometimes if it's drier than normal, I'll use this leave-in conditioner. It's Shea Moisture leave-in conditioner. But I don't use it all the time, and I don't need it today. My hair is pretty moisturized and feels fine. Some people moisturize all the time, but my hair is fine, more fine than I would prefer. Even though I do like to loosen the curl, it's still more fine than I prefer. So I have a lot of flyaways, and products tend to weigh it down, and I like big hair. This is going to get, as it dries, it's going to get fluffier, and I prefer my hair that way, so I don't use a lot of product after I wash it. So this is the finished product. This is my hair. It's nice and moisturized. You probably can't tell, but I can tell that my curl pattern is a little bit more relaxed, which is how I prefer it. And I'll do this again in a month from now. If you have any questions, let me know. I just have to say that I give a lot of props now to vloggers, because, especially hair vloggers, because this is not easy to get on here and explain step by step what you're doing to somebody, and to keep pausing it and making sure you get the lighting right and all that stuff. It's a lot. So you'll never get another hair video out of me. Well, I'll say most likely never get another hair video out of me. But I just did this for my friends who asked for it, and I hope it was helpful. Thank you. Bye. Orange hands.